welcome everyone to the All Access Monday morning.
I agree, but I will disagree with one thing you said. You're not going to get this everywhere. What you're teaching and we're talking about is very much all you and all this wonderful experience that you have and all the work we do together. So I that one I'm going to push back on a little bit, but the rest is
bless,
absolutely true.
bless you. The only thing I meant was they can get it on demand after.
Oh, I see
But the
what you mean.
difference is,
Yeah.
yeah, but the difference is simply it's good to be here in person, actually understanding why Monday morning matters.
Well,
And it matters.
and today is all about we're talking mindset today. So, it's all about the way that you conduct yourself and how you think and all that stuff. And, one of the things that all of us do, myself included, is I get caught sometimes being too much in the business and not focusing on the business. So this is the moment that it's only half an hour every week, and then whatever else you're going to do for tracking and your Sunday night org or whatever it is you're doing. But very few things will impact your business as much as getting this organized, staying on track, and finding ways to manage and get some great new ideas. I mean, in 30 minutes every week, they can walk away with stuff they can implement literally the
And,
same day.
and that's just it. And you said today we're talking about mindset. We're not talking about general mindset. We're talking, we're moving to the next pillar.
Mm-hmm.
We focused the last, I think, 4 or 5 weeks on warm outreach. Actually, not 4 or 5 weeks. The last 2 months, we focused on
It's
warm outreach. So the last 3 or 4 weeks, it was just surrounding open houses and specific systems to that. And
yeah.
now we're moving into cold outreach. So warm is how you keep your business on forever. That's
Mhm.
that repeat referral, the cycle. Cold outreach is where we grow.
Right.
So in order to have a business with lots of warm outreach, they were cold at one point. They came from somewhere. So the next 6 weeks here together is going to be all around cold outreach, how we grow our business, not how do we maintain and be successful, because that's
Mhm.
warm outreach. Once somebody is in our nets, it moves departments. Both are equally as important. As a matter of fact, you can live the rest of your days with warm outreach to an existing funnel, but what if you don't have one? What if you want to grow it? That's what we're going to focus on the next 6 weeks. It's the
Yeah.
cold component. It's the mindset surrounding it. It's the activity surrounding it. It's the execution of the plan that each person chooses to make in their own respective markets, because every
Mhm.
market's different. It has its own nuances, its own language, and that's what we're going to focus on. So today is we're going to get started in just understanding where your head needs to be
Yeah.
to deal with the amount of rejection that's coming your way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll
So,
mention to
so
everybody, that one of the resources today, just so you know, is a from our top producer playbook series. It's Mindset of a Closer, the Cold Outreach edition. So this is fun. So a lot of what we're talking about today, they'll get a summary of as well. But let's go. Why don't we jump into the mindset required for a successful cold outreach? You want to start there, and then we can talk about some of the other things we were going to cover today.
yeah, I mean, it is the mindset of a closer. That is the absolute commencement of it. You need to be somewhere in your mind that you're intentionally focusing on creating a relationship. Cold outreach is when I'm calling somebody I don't know, when I'm knocking on a door that I don't know, that I'm DMing somebody that I don't know. So right off the bat, it's going to be uphill. Right off the bat, you need to be prepared to be told that I'm busy now. I don't want to talk to you. Who are you? All the different things. Just like people call you. How do you act when somebody calls you? When somebody knocks on your door? We have to be prepared to get over that. Because if we don't, we're lining up ourselves up for failure. If we do, we're aligning with success. So there is quite a few things to this entire structure in starting and understanding exactly what a closer looks like, what a closer speaks like, and how it feels is where you need to start. First and foremost, rejection is never personal. It's timing, it's rapport, or your message. You're not begging anyone, you're qualifying people, you're sorting people. Let's call it a sorting system in order to be able to get over your fear, your nerves, your anxiety surrounding the subject. Everybody has it, by the way. There's not a single human on earth that loves rejection, but people handle it differently. Your success is not built on a single great pitch. It's built on doing the work daily. And the message that you deliver to one person doesn't mean it's going to work with somebody else. So as you build your experience and your repertoire of different elevator pitches, of different openings, you're going to figure out what works and with who. Meaning the demographic of a neighborhood can change everything. I, for example, come from a Greek background. If I'm in a Jewish neighborhood, I would act a certain way. If I am in a Indian neighborhood, like the city that I live in is 50% Indian from India, I act a certain way because I want to offer them value. What do they see as value? What do they appreciate? What do they celebrate? How am I respectful and candid to what they are looking? It's not everybody's the same. So every neighborhood, every city, every market is going to have its nuances. And the target audience that you set out to take will have its own. That's where the mindset of a closer comes in. Who am I looking to add to my phone today? Does it make a difference what the color of their skin, their creed, their things? The answer is yes, it does make a big difference. This is human to human contact. Everything matters. What they think of you matters. What you think of them matters. And as a top salesperson, as somebody who is looking to add value and be able to service somebody, I need to know how I can be attractive as an offering myself. How I position my value proposition myself. What if there is no nuances? What if it's just a general neighborhood? Everybody's in it. I'm not targeting any specific ethnic background or demographic. I'm not looking for, couples between 40 and 60. I'm looking for everyone. How do I just add people to my phone? There's a way to do that as well, to just grow your phone base. But today we're speaking of that mindset, all the things you need to consider to be successful in this business. So
how does your mindset change culturally from one culture to the next? I'm curious because I think a lot of people might push back on that a little bit. What do you think? And I know you've been doing this long enough to know. I mean, you live in a place that's extremely multicultural. So if you were targeting, an area, how does it change culturally for you when you're making that first impression?
Well, first and foremost, you need to understand the schools in the area. You need to understand the infrastructure in any given area. We're talking now an advanced human connection. We're not talking real estate sales for a second.
Yeah.
And the answer is, I would never door knock, for example, an area that I don't know intimately well. If there is 3 Catholic schools and 1 public, I know what the area is about. If there's 3 public schools and no Catholic schools, I know what the area is about. If there is X versus Y versus Z, this isn't about being prejudiced, being this, that, or the other. This is about you understanding what your job is today. We talked about adding people to your phone for the purposes of real estate. Why does someone choose you? Why does somebody want to connect with you? Likely because you're offering value off the bat. My name is Simeon. I live in this neighborhood. I own this neighborhood. I know it like the back of my hand. I know the principals at the schools. I know the people who work at the rec center. The business owners around here are all my friends, and I would love to welcome you to the neighborhood because I heard you just moved here. Whatever. There's a million ways to speak to someone and offer them something. And what you can offer is knowledge, intimate knowledge of the neighborhood in the ways of real estate. Meaning, if you ever know somebody who wants to move here, if you are thinking of buying or selling or investing in our neighborhood, there's nobody who's going to give you more than me. And I will say that with all the confidence in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So
But I
how
think
does
that's
it
the
change?
level, but that's part.
But
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, Simeon, I
no,
think that's a good example of mindset. Your mindset is you come at this from a very confident perspective. You know
100,
that you offer,
100%.
yeah, and you know you offer that level of value, so you feel comfortable saying that. I think
And
that's a
now just
big
to
point.
and just to address what you said earlier, because I don't want to leave it hanging. How does that change with multiculturalism?
Hmm.
Because I've lived in Red Deer, Alberta, where there is no multiculturalism. But I've also lived in Mississauga and Toronto, Ontario, where literally 9 out of 10 people are either first or second generation immigrants. I
Hmm.
don't care where in the planet you're from, but you're here now. How do we connect?
Hmm.
And to people living in New York, in Los Angeles, in Houston, in Miami, what are we talking about? The chances of you meeting the classic American or the classic Canadian is slim to none. These are hotspots and magnets for the world. These are global destinations with global economies. You need to be able to connect. And I'm not saying you should be able to speak Spanish, but you should know a few words if you live in Miami. Let me tell you that. If you're going to Montreal, Quebec, you better know how to say bonjour because there's a deep French connection in Quebec. I mean, it's their official language is French. You need to know it.
Hmm.
So again, we're not talking for no reason. If you can't connect with your audience at the most foundational level, you have no shot of getting their business. So if I were to work in the city of Brampton, where in Ontario, that city is literally 70% Punjabi. Not only is it Indian, it's Punjabi.
Hmm.
And you better know the difference. Because if you don't, once again, you're not going to be earning that business.
Right.
You need to know what they celebrate, when they celebrate it, how they celebrate it. Why? Because you're trying to ingrain your services into their life.
Hmm.
If
I
you
think
go
that's a
to
great
it,
example. Sorry,
so
go
so
ahead.
that's all I'm getting at because people
Yep.
easily misconstrue what cultural respect means and how they accommodate it or how they pander to it or why.
Hmm.
The reason is very simple. We are looking to put our value proposition in someone's life. That
Hmm.
someone is looking for a set of qualities and characteristics in order to engage with them. And that's where everything that we talk about from here on in over the next 5 weeks is going to be relative to how you got in the door. But the door has to open, and it won't open unless you have key knowledge of your audience, of who you're trying to
Yeah.
attract.
I think
Um,
that's an awesome way to put it.
I hope
So
that resonates with everyone and
yeah.
the people who are here. If you want to take a second and put in the chat any question you may have, or if you resonate, if you agree with what I'm saying, please let me know. If you
Hmm.
don't agree with what I'm saying, please let me know.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole purpose of this exercise is for us
Yeah.
to be able to connect and really set that base knowledge up.
For
Um,
sure.
with that being said, to wrap that whole point up, it's cold outreach is about conversation. So it is now we went through, we understand that we have a target audience when we do it, but
Hmm.
this isn't about conversion. It's about conversation. Conversation will set up a conversion.
Right.
So the only metric that matters so much is conversation. How many conversations was I able to open? How many conversations went to where I wanted them to go? Because conversion is the natural result of the said conversation.
For sure. What do you
Conversion
think?
into a client. Go ahead.
Just on mindset for a second, what do you think are some of the reasons agents struggle, or what are the mindsets that they're struggling with unless they manage it well? Because you started by saying that, like, it doesn't matter who you are, how top a producer you are, you still have mindset management needs. Let's face it. You still have
100%.
fears. You still got whatever, part of prospecting you don't like or whatever, outreach. But what do you think stops most agents?
The fear of no. It is the fear of rejection.
Hmm.
And it's also how tolling that is. Meaning
Yeah.
that, and this is why it should be routine daily for short periods of time.
Hmm.
Because if you go an entire Saturday, for example, an entire Saturday dedicated to door knocking, don't do that. I'd rather see you go 3 times a week for a couple of hours than 6 hours because it is tolling on your soul.
Yeah.
You cannot maintain a big smile when you hit 4 houses, nobody's home. Then the next one said no, and then the next four, nobody's home, and then finally, it's a lot. And
Hmm.
I'm not telling you this because I don't know what it feels like. I'm telling you this because I do know what it feels. And I have a huge, huge surprise. When we go into door knocking, I have a huge surprise for this class, and I'm gonna teach you that my biggest difference maker in real estate is that door knocking exercise that I teach. It's made a difference in hundreds of agents live and thousands in their communities, and I can't wait to share that with you
Oh,
next week.
that's awesome. Well, that's a nice lead in. We'll be doing that next week, everybody. So make sure you show up
Yeah,
for that one.
for sure. Next week's big. Next week's big. Um,
So what's the mindset shifts that they need to be thinking about?
it's very simple, and this is something that's done with intent. Nobody's
Mhm.
forcing you to make cold outreach. You're doing it for the right reason. So setting the
Mhm.
intention that today I'm prospecting. I want to gain 5 new contacts today. So I know what the intention is. I know what the goal is, and I know how I'm going to get there. It's a matter of when. How many conversations will it take? How many doors will it take? How many DMs is it going to take for me to add 5 new people to know what I do for a living? That's
Mhm.
it. You need to track this. This needs to be tracked, and I'm talking about simply tracking your conversations, your follow-ups, and your appointments booked. Why? Because that feels good. When I know that I made 20 calls today that led to 4 follow-ups from last week and 3 new appointments, that is a victory. That is a win. And tracking your wins reminds you of why you're doing it all to begin with. Because those conversations that turn to follow-ups, that turn to whatever they're going to turn to, is the reason you're in business. That's the whole point.
Sure.
And taking somebody from nowhere to a transaction is, if that's not the most magnificent thing, I don't know what is. This is sales. I'm not selling a product. I am the product. The value is me. The value is you. So how you package it and put a ribbon on your own self matters. And when you introduce you as the product and the value proposition, and people bite and then they buy into it and then they follow through where they become a client and they're a past client, that's what this is all about. That's what drives me to do it again. Knowing that I've done it, knowing and being able to visualize the entire line. That's what makes a difference.
Yeah.
So it's, you have to have that passion to grow your business, to want to grow your business.
Hmm.
How do you think this is when you're the only one holding yourself accountable? It goes for a week and then fall off. What's the secret sauce? Well, you being here right now is the secret sauce. Michael, that's the secret sauce. If we were
Do you
able
want
to hold
to,
ourselves,
Simeon, can you
yeah,
repeat the question so everybody, because that one just went to us.
yeah. So Michael T asks, how do you stay consistent when you're the only one holding yourself accountable? I'll hit goals for a week, then fall off. What's the secret sauce? So to Michael and to all the people who are going to watch this recording, that is the eternal question for all of us. It's no different for going on a diet. It's no different than training at the gym. It's no different to anything. Unless I have a personal trainer, I know as a fact that I will not go to the gym 3 times this week. Fact. Why? Because I know myself.
Yeah.
If I don't log my meals on my app, my Fitness Pro, whatever it's called, my Fitness Pal, I know as a fact that I will eat something that I shouldn't. In this business, it's the exact same thing. Why are we here Monday after Monday? And I'm speaking to Sabina as I'm speaking to myself. If Sabina wasn't here, I would probably not show up every Monday morning, no matter what. You being here right now is holding yourself accountable, because I'm going to hold you accountable. Do you want more accountability? Email me your results. It's the same thing, guys. This is why we do this right here. Not to hear our own voice, because we like the sound of our own voice. Because if I succeed in motivating Michael, that motivates me. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you take this time, it's 11:23 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the next 7 to 10 minutes, we're going to be off the call. What are you going to do? I know what I'm going to do. This is where this all comes in. And there's nothing more than I love than that question. And what's the secret sauce? There is no secret sauce. We are the secret sauce. We creating a culture of accountability, a culture of success and encouragement is the secret sauce. Mm-hmm. Negativity has no place in our world. The world is so negative to begin with. We have to be the light. And when you turn the corner and you realize that, sales become so easy. Because people count on your positivity, on your optimism, on your work, on your everything. So back to cold outreach and tracking what matters, track the conversations. Because if you have 10 conversations today, that's 50 you're going to have this week. That's 200 this month. How far do you think it's going to take for you to snowball out of control with business? That's what people don't realize. So the consistency brings the snowball effect. It brings that compounding interest. Not just fixed interest, compounding interest. Because if you have 200 calls this month, 200 calls next month, 200 calls the month after, I will tell you that you're not going to have enough time to service all the clients that you'll have. And it's guaranteed, not maybe. So
awesome. I think that alone is a huge mindset shift to me. And, for everybody to realize, you've said like 3 or 4 different things that relate to mindset. So I hope everybody really listened to that. The, the tracking.
And Michael, and if Michael can let us know, does that does that give him the understanding of where we see consistency and accountability?
Yeah, that would be awesome to hear. The other thing we've talked about a lot, you mentioned it here today, and we talked about some of the things that they should be tracking. Maybe let's talk a little bit about what the absolute minimum metrics need to be that they have to track. And then I'm also going to just quickly show them the tracker we gave them so they can see where they can do this if they want. But at minimum, this goal card idea that we present to them, that's in, by the way, it'll be in your resources as well, is the minimum number of things that they need to track, bare minimum.
Yeah. So 10 meaningful conversations a day, 10 meaningful conversations a day, not 10 calls that lead to 2 conversations, 10. If you're not having 10 conversations a day, do not expect to be anywhere near the top 10 percentile of our industry colleagues.
Right.
Because hanging out, being mid is not the goal. Being mid is not the goal. You are a professional. You are looking to have a meaningful career in real estate. Doing 5 deals a year should not be the goal.
Right.
Doing 20 deals a year is my baseline for anything. Doing 2 deals a month. 2 deals a month is not 20. Two deals a month is not 24. It's 20. Let's just call it 20 deals a year because you're going to take some time off. You're going to relax. You're going
Right.
to, prioritize certain things that you need to. But
Sure.
if you're not doing a couple deals a month, you are not at the level that you need to be, and you need to grow. Full stop.
Full stop. Well, and we know,
Full stop.
Simeon, that something like, we haven't seen the numbers, the exact numbers yet, but something like 70 or more percent of agents are doing less than 6 deals a year right now. That's a big number, big, big number. So, obviously anything that you can pick out of something like a session today to help add a deal or two, awesome.
But I can guarantee you that you can do 20 deals a year. I
Yeah.
guarantee it.
Yeah.
All you have to do is work. People don't realize the amount of work required to have a successful career in real estate.
For sure.
This is not HGTV. This is not, a 30-minute show that, a renovation is done in 22 minutes. People right now have significant problems in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Significant. The economy across North America has been crushed due to a multitude of factors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that presents a tremendous opportunity. And the opportunity is to showcase the value and knowledge that you have to solve problems for them. If you were to investigate and look into my marketing strategy for my personal business called REC Canada, any one of you can look it up. reccanada.com is our website. I'm right now on July 2nd, I'll be launching a massive marketing offensive. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to market saying the words, meaning my cold outreach. Forget my warm outreach, which is going to be solving problems. I am going to have 10 of my agents going outbound into my own database of 15,000 people to call and ask people what their problem is today. Is it negative cash flow? Is it fear of the market? Is it ta-ta-ta-ta-ta? They're going to ask the question, what are you, in terms of real estate, what is your problem? In terms of real estate, what makes you feel uncomfortable? Let the client tell you what the issue is, and now I know what I'm solving for. When you go to the doctor, you don't just say, I have a headache. You say, oh, well, I hit my head against the car, or whatever. Like my hand hurts, this finger specifically. They know what to hone in on. You need to identify the issue. When you put just listed on your socials, nothing's going to happen. But if you were to showcase that you just solved negative cash flow issues for a client by having them refinance their 2 other properties, you made a case study. Now somebody can say, hey, if I was in that position, I know who to go to. Mm-hmm. Cold outreach has a million different forms. Today's mindset session is for you to really get it through and get your head wrapped around what you need to be doing to grow your database. 10 conversations is the bare minimum. Bare minimum.
And let's face it, that assumes that you have the same conversion rate as everybody else. Like this is why we recommend tracking certain things and figuring out what your personal conversion is, and then understanding how to improve that. So job 1 is the action itself, then it's tracking, and then from there it's understanding your conversions and improving that. And one might argue that even before it's the actual action, it's planning what action you're going to take. So
100%, 100%.
Yeah, because you want to have, first of all, you need to have activities. If you aren't willing to commit to your, whatever it is, 10 conversations, 100 conversations, X number of door knockings, whatever it is, that is number 1 where you have to start. And that's the sort of thing I'm going to show you guys in 2 seconds here because we're going a bit over time. But what Simeon is telling all of us is the basic cold reach metrics we need to track are conversations had, follow-up scheduled, appointments booked, and leads captured. Those are the beginning of what you need to do. And what he recommends is a daily tracker. And the first thing you do is set up what you're going to do that week, and then you track what you actually did that week. And you can start to see literally very quickly how, if you're at, first of all, doing what you're committing to, number one, trying to stay on track. And maybe that's a mindset issue that we need to deal with. And then the
Mhm.
second part is, how's it going? Like, are you actually seeing 10 meaningful conversations, or how many outreaches do you need to make to have 10? That kind of thing. So,
The
and then,
easiest thing to do, Sabina, the
yeah,
easiest thing to do is literally time block it. Set a time like 9:30 to 11:30 every day should be
right.
prospecting. Prospecting for new business. Then you
Mhm.
follow up with your existing business, and then you go out to do whatever you need to do.
Right.
But being in your CRM with a time block with absolute intention, you start your day with a 5 minute prep and mindset every day.
Mhm.
And nobody's above it. This isn't nonsense hurrahs. It's taking 5 minutes to clear your mind, tell yourself exactly what you're about to do, remind yourself that nobody can speak to you unprofessionally. Remind yourself all the things that you need to get through the next 2 hours. What I tell myself every single day is a reminder of why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I did have an incredible weekend. I'm grateful for the blessings that I have. All these things, whatever meditation you use in practice, whatever existing habits you have, take
Mhm.
those 5 minutes, prepare your mindset, and go into a 90-minute call-a-thon, DM-a-thon, knocking on door-a-thon. Whatever it is you choose to do, time block it, protect it, prepare for it, and track it.
Awesome. Awesome. And I'll let everybody know that the 5 minute conditioning routine that you recommend, we put an example of it into the resource for today. So they'll be able to use that as a guideline, but certainly from there to create their own. And then the last thing, guys, while we have a couple of minutes here, I just want to show you, this is the tracker that we recommend that you use. Please use something. If this isn't the one that you love, that's totally cool, but at least look at this info. It's in the chat. I put the link again, although we've sent it to you guys lots of times. I want to show it to you. So there's two parts to this. The first part is the planner. So when you go into here, you want to make sure that you're planning all your inputs and all your outputs for whatever the quarter is. So next week, we're going to go through this in detail. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it here. That's the planner part. But what we're really talking about is the tracker part. Every one of these pages is 1 week. So all you need to do is create a copy. So you're going to just say duplicate, you're going to add a fresh one, and then change the date. And here's what you want to look at. Certainly, if you feel like customizing this, do that. But this is what we just talked about. Total
Mhm.
conversations, appointments set, appointments held, total leads captured, etc. And here, this is coming from the previous page. So this is going to say what your value is. That means what you've actually said you're going to do. And then and that in dollars, and then your weekly goal. So what is your weekly goal? Are you going to try to do 100 total conversations in a week, or you want to do 10 to start? This is the sort of thing that you want to do. So this tracker will get you through sales metrics. If you want to go deeper, it's optional, of course, but super powerful. Your lead source tracker. What's working for you? You know, you update this to whatever your lead sources are, and then start tracking what's happening. How many leads, how many clients, how many deals closed, etc. You want to go through your income streams. Do you have more than one income streams? What's the revenue you got this week? Did you close 2 deals, but you also did a home staging contract or something? That's what you want to put in there. And then finally, your personal reflection, which is what worked this week? What is working? What is your biggest win? Anything that you can remember, because you're going to forget a month from now what really worked that week. The hardest challenge of the week. What do you want to double down on? And what do you want to eliminate or delegate? And Simeon, unless you can think of anything else, that's basically your routine every week.
Uh, Genuinely, it's what you need to be doing for any task. Like I think what I want to really remind people is that real estate is no different than any other component in our lives. It has to be nurtured, it needs to be watered and fed like anything else if you want it to grow and to be meaningful. There are no shortcuts in this business, like there's no shortcuts anywhere. Shortcuts literally lead to haste and results that you will never own and be able to grow from. So if we were to focus on mindset, if we understood our intentions, if we consistently track what didn't work and what does work, that's how growth happens. You know you are going to make mistakes today. All of us are. Do we track them? Do we learn from them? Do we grow from them? Sales gives you the ability to do it again 100 times a day.
Yeah.
This didn't work on a conversation. Hang up. It's okay. Pick up the phone again. It's a brand new day. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
We just before we jump off, Simeon, that was awesome. Thank you so much. Michael just posted a question asking about the replay. The replay is in the community. It's always posted by the same day, by the end of the day. We also send out an email in the morning, which has a link to remind you where to find it, but you can always go into the community. I think maybe what I'll do next week is I'll walk everybody through the community again, just to make sure you all know where it
do
is.
that. And Michael, thank you for letting us know that that resonated with you. Have a successful and productive week ahead to all of you. I as well have to get to my next call. Everybody, I'll see you next Monday.
Thanks all. Have an awesome week.
Take care, guys.